Bradford City continue their 2024-25 league campaign with an away clash against John Doolan's Accrington Stanley. I nearly said John Coleman's Accrington Stanley there. If you do go on to enjoy today's video, make sure to drop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. Don't forget to get your thoughts in down in the comment section down below. 80 likes as always would be massively appreciated. And let's get straight into it. Now, my team, Bradford City, we currently sit second in the League 2 table. After 38 matches, we've got 20 wins, 9 draws and 9 defeats, scoring 52 goals and also conceding 32, which leaves us on a positive 20 goal difference and 69 points. Our last couple of matches then have been a win, a loss, a win and a win. Them last couple of matches then been a 4-1 win at home to Colchester United. An absolutely brilliant performance. We dominated them really from start to finish. I thought we were absolutely outstanding and it could have probably been double figures today. We did that without Andy Cook, without Anthony Sarcevic. Alex Patterson played 5 minutes. Bobby Poynton only played 15 minutes as well. To put on such a good performance, I think the team do deserve a lot of credit for that, to bounce back after what was obviously 2 very disappointing defeats and to do it against a very good in-form Colchester side. We also had a 1-0 defeat at home to Tranmere Rovers. Just one of them games really. You look at the stats, dominated shots, more shots on target, dominated possession, passes, pass accuracy, all that sort of stuff, and they got a very dodgy refereeing decision, penalty kick, which is just never a penalty in a million years, and we just could not break them down. Second half, we just didn't do enough. We didn't create anywhere near enough, but we could have had the game wrapped up by half time. We also had a 1-0 defeat away to Gillingham. Again, a very disappointing and frustrating one. Loads of chances in the first half, not as many as what we create at home, but still enough to be 2 or 3 up by the break. We didn't take them. They eventually punished us in the second half. Connor Masterson scoring from a corner. Very disappointing goal from our point of view, and again we went behind and we just could not break them down. We also had a 3-0 win at home to Cheltenham Town. Again, you look at the stats, absolutely dominated the game. They actually had more possession, but they didn't really do all too much with it. We're never really much of a threat going forward, and again we had loads more chances in this game. Nice to see George Lapsley get a brace and Michael Mellon also find himself on the score sheet as well. And we also had a 2-1 win away to Salford City. Disappointing goal to concede in that one, but great resilience to turn that game around. Brad Halliday and Michael Mellon both scoring their first goals of the season. Obviously Mellon scoring it in the 94th minute, absolute limbs in that away end, and yeah, a game that we should have won by more than this margin. You know, it's obviously nice for the fans to enjoy that moment after having all the frustration, but again by half time we could have been at least 2 or 3 goals up. If we compare it though to the hosts, Accrington Stanley, they currently sit 20th in the League 2 table. After 38 matches, they've got 10 wins, 11 draws and 17 defeats, scoring 45 goals, which is the most in the kind of bottom group of teams from 19th downwards by a long shot. The next best then is Morecambe with 33, but they have also conceded 55 goals, which is one of the most in the entire division. It leaves them on a minus 10 goal difference and 41 points. Their last couple of matches though, they have been in a decent form recently. They've had a draw, a win, a loss and a win. So 8 points picked up out of their last possible 15 available is very good for a team who've been fighting them relegation places for the large part this season. Recently though, they had a 0-0 draw away at Swindon. Obviously, the home side did have the ball in the back of the net in the first half, but it was ruled out for a foul, which I do think is a foul. It might be a bit soft. Accrington didn't really offer much, especially in the second half. Just one shot in the entirety of the second period of 45 minutes. Swindon were definitely the better of the two teams, but Accrington did very well to grind that out. Is Sean Wally back from injury? He didn't start this game and he was not on the bench, so hopefully he's not available for this one. He has clearly been their best player throughout this season. They also had a 1-1 draw at home to Gillingham. I do think that Accrington were kind of robbed of 2 extra points in this game. It's a clear foul by Max Amer on one of the Accrington players for the goal that the Gills do score in the 94th minute. A bit of a strange game really. Gillingham had more shots, but Accrington had more on target. Gillingham then dominated the possession and passing stats, all that sort of stuff, and it's probably a game that come the end of the season doesn't actually really mean all too much. They also had a 5-0 win at home to Newport County. Despite only having 41% possession, the visitors didn't even have a shot on target. Accrington clearly had loads of chances in the game. Some of the goals I think Newport will be a little bit disappointed with, but fair play to Accrington. They absolutely dominated Newport in that one. They also had a 2-0 defeat away to Barrow, their only loss in their last 5. They didn't really lay much of a glove on Barrow, and yeah, Barrow clearly the better of the two sides and definitely did deserve all 3 points. And they also had a 2-0 win at home to MK Dons. Again, MK dominated possession but just did nothing with it, not a single shot on target throughout the game. Accrington got 2 goals in the first half, and then after that kind of just shut up shop, really allowed MK Dons all the possession in the world, but on that very tight, narrow pitch, they just couldn't do anything with all that possession, and Accrington did very well to pick up all 3 points. Obviously, going back a couple of weeks now, we did actually play Accrington pretty recently. It was on the 11th of February, so about 7 weeks ago, where we got a 1-0 win. Alex Patterson scoring the only goal of the game in the 20th minute. A brilliant strike, to be fair. Not a lot really happened after that goal. We kind of just sat back, sucked a bit of pressure. I think they had a good chance in the second half, which was well saved by Sam Walker, but apart from that, it was just kind of a case of getting a job done on a cold Tuesday night. Before we do go any further though with today's video, don't forget to drop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. Can we try to 80 likes, as I said at the start of today's video? That would be massively appreciated. Don't forget to get your thoughts in down in the comment section down below. What is your score prediction? What would your starting 11 be as well? In terms of my formation then for this game, I would definitely stick with the 3-4-2-1. It's obviously been a big part of our recent success, and I don't see any reason why you would change it in this game. In goal, I'd stick with Sam Walker. Nothing he can really do about the Colchester goal on Saturday. Maybe he could have palmed it a little bit further away, but I think he actually did quite well to get down to Jack Payne's shot. Apart from that, didn't have much to do apart from the Awura Edwards chance in the second half. A brilliant save, which the referee clearly didn't see because he gave it as a goal kick. But Sam Walker, I think post-Christmas, has certainly been very good. In terms of my back three then, I have got a one change in here. At right centre-back, I would stick with Aidan Baldwin. I know he's played in the middle a little bit recently, but I would move him back over to that right-hand side. I think Neil Byrne actually had a pretty solid game against Colchester on the whole, but that one mistake, that one lapse in concentration could have cost us, and if that goes to 2-2, it then is a completely different game. So Baldwin, for me, I think he's been very good recently, so definitely keep him in this side. In the middle, I'd bring back in Jack Shepherd. Obviously missed out last Saturday with a bit of stiffness in his hips, but I think for this game, Accrington haven't really got much of a physical striker, so we can play our less physical centre-halves, but I'd still have Jack Shepherd in the middle for me, and hopefully he can get back to his best in this one, because I think his last couple of appearances, he has been at fault for a couple of the goals. And at left centre-back, I'd stick with Romany Critchlow. Again, like I just mentioned, I don't think we need to play our physical centre-halves against Accrington. Tuesday will be a different case. I'll have your Paul Huntingtons, for example, straight in the starting 11 for me, but Critchlow, I think, should start in this one. I think his passing ability with Baldwin on the other side is going to be important. On that small, narrow pitch, we're going to need to get it into our attacking midfielders, like your Tyreek Wrights, your George Lapsleys, your Walkers, your Bobby Poyntons as well, and I feel like we're going to need our best ball players on the wide side of the back three, so Critchlow would definitely start for me. In terms of midfield four, at right wing back, I'd stick with Brad Halliday. Really good against Colchester, back to his best, obviously. Gets the assist for our first goal. It's nice to see him starting to contribute to a few more goals post-Christmas as well, and defensively, absolutely brilliant. Him and Neil Byrne absolutely locked up Awura Edwards, and I thought he did have a really, really good game. As my two holding midfielders then, firstly I'd go with the captain, Richie Smallwood. So important to this team, and I'm glad that he's finally getting the recognition that he deserves from the rest of the fan base. I've always been a decent fan of Richie Smallwood, but I think this season he's gone on to another level and has arguably been the best player and most important player in the entire division this season. And partnering him, I would stick with Brandon Kaler. When you think Patterson's only just recovered from having his appendix out, it's not going to be necessary, I think, to chuck him in for 90 minutes in this one against Accrington and then ask him to do it again on a Tuesday. So I'd definitely give Kaler another start. I think he has been very good recently. He's covered a lot of ground. I think he partners Smallwood well in there, and who knows, if Kaler has another good performance in this one, then Alexander's got a real selection headache, and a positive headache to have going into Tuesday's game against Port Vale. And at left wing back, I would stick with Teo Adaramola. He's proved to be a really, really good signing for us. I was a big fan of Lewis Richards, but I think even if he was fit, I would definitely stick with Adaramola at this moment in time. Another assist for him for our second goal on Saturday. He's probably one of the quickest players I've ever seen play for Bradford City. Absolutely outstanding, so he definitely starts for me again in that left wing back role. In terms of my two attacking midfielders then, first I'll go with George Lapsley. Great to see him get another brace on Saturday. That's now 4 goals in 3 or 4 starts in a Bradford City shirt, so fair play to him for that. Obviously he has played a lot as a left 10. On Saturday he played on the right hand side and got another brace. I think his ability to break into the box, it's Jude Bellingham-esque, and for me personally he definitely should start this game. And over on the other side I would go with Tyreek Wright. Now I've not been a big fan really of Wright for the large part this season. I do think he has struggled in that left wing back position, but I thought on Saturday he had one of his best performances we've seen in a long time, arguably his best performance since his first spell at the football club, and there's no real surprise that he's got that playing in an attacking role. I think defensively he can struggle, but his link up play with Adaramola on that left side, even Critchlow at times as well stepping in, I thought he had a really good game, scored a brace in this fixture last season as well, so that'll be very nice if we can be 3-0 up by half time and just see the game out. So I would definitely start him once again. And as my striker I would go with Callum Kavanagh. I don't think Michael Mellon can really have many complaints. He wasn't really getting many chances, but he wasn't scoring goals. Callum Kavanagh comes in for his first start in quite a while and he immediately bags a brace. And to be fair, I have been a big criticiser of Callum Kavanagh so far this season, but I thought on Saturday he did have a really good game. Not only the 2 goals, but I thought he held the ball up well at times, won a few free kicks, and I wouldn't say he's first touch and his passing ability is amazing, but he's not going to be a complete striker at 21 years of age, so maybe I need to lay off my criticism of him a little bit, because he's nearly into double figures now for goals scored in all competitions. He's got 4 or 5 assists as well, so maybe I do need to be a little bit more fair on Callum Kavanagh. On the bench then for me, I would go with Joe Hilton. Callum Johnson should be back available finally after obviously he picked up a bit of a knock, but he's been back training for the last 10 days. Kieran Kelly as well, nice to see him back on Saturday, same with Alex Patterson, Bobby Poynton. I have both of them on the bench as well, Jamie Walker, and completing it I would go with Michael Mellon, so a very, very strong bench for us there. The 3 players currently unavailable are Lewis Richards, obviously he's got 2 problems at the moment, hamstring and shoulder. Anthony Sarcevic, I have a feeling his season is over with that hamstring injury, which is a massive shame because he already missed 4 months of the season. To now miss the final 2 months again would be a massive blow, but hopefully he'll be a very important player for us in League One and he can stay fit next season, but we've got to get there first. Not having him though is a big blow, and obviously Andy Cook is unavailable as well with the ACL. Now the players miss out then through selection: Colin Doyle, Jay Ben, I just completely forgotten about him over the last couple of weeks, not even spoke about him in the match previews, but he would also miss out through selection. Neil Byrne, it feels harsh, I've not been a big fan of Byrne for the large part this season, but I don't think he makes the matchday squad in my opinion. Neither Paul Huntington, again I think he's been very good this season, but I would definitely have him starting on Tuesday. He's going to be very important, so I'd just rest him completely. Also missing out would be Clark Adore, Tommy Lee and Harry Ibbotson. I think in the case of Adore and Lee, I don't see a way in which they work their way back onto the bench now. In the appearances we've seen of him this season, I don't think they've really impressed all too much, and I do think there are certainly other players ahead them at this moment in time. In terms of a score prediction for this game, I'm going to go Accrington Stanley 1 at Bradford City 1. Maybe slightly pessimistic, but I think we'll either draw or lose this game and go and win on Tuesday. We saw it, we lost to Gillingham, we lost to Tranmere, 2 teams that we should definitely be beating, and then obviously we beat Colchester, so who knows. Get your score predictions in down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe as well. 80 likes as always would be massively appreciated. Thank you so much for 600 subscribers as well. We really are closing in on that 1,000 mark. If we get there by the end of the season, that'll be absolutely outstanding. But I think realistically, can we get there before the start of next season? And I'll see you very soon for another one.